Good morning, YouTube. This morning I'm going to do a review of Into the Fire jewelry that I own. Dimitri started this company probably around 10 years ago, maybe a little more. And for some reason I became aware of the company pretty quickly. And I've always been a fan of silver, sterling silver, fine silver. I've collected silver, invested in silver and gold. I always keep a fine silver pocket piece on me all the time. I have several hundred ounces of silver that I keep for investment purposes. I put it back for the kids. I think each one of my kids have around 200 ounces of silver that I hope to increase. And by the time they're 18, be able to give them about 500 ounces of silver apiece. That way, it's not as easy to spend as cash, and they have something tangible in their hands. But like I said, for some reason, I've always been drawn to silver. And I've also been drawn to artwork. So hand-carved silver is amazing to me. And Dimitri at Into the Fire, he started this company. And that's exactly what he did. And I think he molded the market for men's jewelry, because now there's all kinds of companies that are inspired by his work, that copy his work, that try to do things very similar to what he does. A lot of them are they're cheaper companies, and the only one I feel that's like really comparable to him is Book of Alchemy. They do pretty good work, and I own a few pieces of their jewelry as well. Their rings are pretty outstanding. But when it comes to the skull type jewelry, nothing competes with Into the Fire. And so what it used to be, 10 all the way up to 5, 6, 5, 4, 3 years ago, his customer service and packaging and everything was amazing. I bought this half jaw skull ring. I think this thing is around 10 years old. And it looks like it. Very worn. And when you would order a piece of jewelry, it would take 4 to 6 weeks because he hand makes everything. Obviously uses the mold, but then everything is hand carved and finished and sized, and when he sent it to you, it came in a very nice cardboard box with gold inlay, and it came with a matte finished like ring holder, and then he would send you an envelope that had a certificate of authenticity that stated when it was made. He would send you stickers in the box, some thank you cards, jewelry care, cloth for cleaning the jewelry. You used to get all of that. And that was amazing. I mean, when it comes time to resell anything or trade, those certificates of authenticity and things like that, they go a long way. And I do like to, I like things that are liquid. I like, when I buy things, I like for them to retain a value. So I'm not really giving away money. I I buy the experience of owning something for a little while, and then if I want to sell it or trade it, I can at least recoup 80% of my cost, and the other 20% I view as an experience fee that I'm willing to pay. But recently, this is probably my newest purchase from him that I bought maybe 6 months ago. And it didn't come with any of that. It came with a pretty cheap little box. Packaging wasn't special, and I had to harass them just to send me a chain with it. I bought this one in the past, and it came with all the same packaging, certificate of authenticity, and a chain, and all that stuff was just normal fare. I had to harass them for a chain for this one, which the clasp broke a few months after I had it. So I ended up buying me a different chain anyway. I like the chains that they provided, but they're very hard to find. So, packaging, attention to detail, everything used to be amazing with this company. It's gone downhill over time, but his products are still amazing. They're great. His prices has gone up as well. So you get less and you pay more. It seems to be the way of America lately. But like I said, his products are always amazing, and I've owned several of his products. Once again, this pendant is their horned pendant. I have little kids, and they used to bang their little foreheads against my chest and hurt themselves. So I took a Dremel and took the horns off and polished it. So you can't even tell it had horns, but it still looks amazing. But I wanted to upgrade to a little bigger pendant and got this much bigger horned pendant. And in comparison, it's a much cooler piece of art for me. And I own a few of their rings. Like I said, I've had a few of these that I've gone through and traded. This is probably the original that I first bought through them. And then a much bigger full skull ring. And my wedding band is even through them. Very chunky piece of silver. And probably my claim to fame is I commissioned him to make me a wallet chain based off of a bracelet type prototype that he showed on his Facebook page once, I believe. And so I commissioned him to make me this wallet chain. And he sent me a certificate of authenticity with this. And this thing is probably 5 years old. And you see where it says #1 in the world. This is his first wallet chain ever made. And I've worn it every day since then. Except when was on deployment or something. But every day that I was in civilian clothes, I've worn this. And it's worn, and I like the worn look better than it looked when it was new. It's amazing. And it's even carved on the back side. It says 925, which is sterling silver, and he has the #1 carved in there. It's probably one of my most prized possessions. And you know, for what it is, I mean, I paid $1,600 to have that made, and I'm extremely happy with it. It is a great wallet chain. It gets a lot of attention. It's definitely a conversation starter when people actually pay attention to it and see it. It's a chunky piece of metal, which I like. And so this was probably the most expensive thing that I bought from him. He makes gold jewelry as well, same style but in gold, and he does brass, and he has copper as well. This is a little cheaper. And like I said, his pricing, like his rings used to be I think $250, $280, something like that. They've gone up now. These pendants, I think I paid $400 for this horned pendant some 5 years ago, and these are $800 now. This is a much more detailed piece than this, but the prices have gone up over time. I think this full ring was around $500, and I think this one was around $300. So prices for handmade sterling silver is pretty good in my opinion. I would definitely recommend anyone looking for similar or the same sterling, gold, copper, handmade, real metal. Check out Dimitri at Into the Fire jewelry. He makes great stuff, and I've always been pretty happy with it. Like I said, my only con and disappointment is that I've been dealing with this company for quite a long time, and I feel that their customer service, packaging, things like that, attention to detail has gone down over time compared to what it used to be, but the product itself is still top-notch. So yeah, Into the Fire jewelry. If you're thinking about getting something like this, check them out. I hope that the information I have shared helps and will help you be more secure in making the decision to pick up a piece of jewelry like this. Thank you very much.